Sir, we can start now if.
You can start the 7:30. We'll start the streaming. No, you can start the streaming now. Yeah, we'll start the 7:30. We'll start. Start 7:30. We'll start the streaming. Dr. Srinivas, shall we start now?
Sure.
Yeah,
Anytime.
yes, 7:30. Okay, good evening to all. At the outset, I thank all the participants. That means team leaders of ideation, as well as the resource persons of the today's session, Srinivas Savale, Dr. Bobby, Dr. Phelps, Dr. Vijay Bambulkar, and other Dr. Prashant Kumar, and other faculty members who joined this first time where IPA is conducting such an ideation contest among the pharmacy students, especially in areas of pharmaceutical, smart health, and clinical pharmacy. And the response were very good. We got ideas from more than 100 colleges. From there, the ideas we've been sent to various judges of the three streams, and we got shortlisted about 40, 45. I think about 45 finalists, semi-finalists are there. Their team leaders are invited to join today for the grooming session. It's a very, very important session. Already you have idea how the idea can be converted to or scale up to a business. That's very, very important because especially in innovation centers, that is a need of the hour. And today we have one of the expert in India, we can say in pharmaceutical sector, Srinivasa. He's the CEO of Adult Incubation Center associated with the LM College of Pharmacy, Ahmedabad, and he is well-known industry experts as well as innovation expert. You can ask any doubts on ideation and ideathon contest, and he has done so many work on this one. And we have, I'm very, very happy that nearly about 47 participants joined now, and we are having live streaming also there for those participants who are unable to join the today's session. They'll be getting the YouTube presentation of Dr. Srinivas. And to start the sessions, may I request Dr. Phelps, who is actually convener of, and it's the idea of Dr. Phelps to have an ideathon, and he's associate professor of pharmaceutics from Nirmala College of Pharmacy, and we have to chair the session. We is actually convener of Innovation Research Committee of IPA Kerala State, which is Dr. Bobby, and we have Dr. Professor Junais, who is also having a very, very interest in innovations from the Shiva College of Pharmacy. With this small note, I may let us start the session. I request Dr. Phelps to formally welcome the gathering and also introduce the today's eminent speaker, Dr. Srinivas Savale. Over to Dr. Phelps.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, all. Respected resource persons, teachers, and dear participants. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for being selected to the semi-final round of this HEALTHPRENEURE 2025 competition. As you know, HEALTHPRENEURE is a healthcare business idea competition. We have received very good ideas. Most of the ideas are excellent and they carry strong business potential. But obviously, there are some lacuna. We consider this program not merely as a competition, but as a platform to create opportunities for the students to get or grab fundings from different government agencies as well as other private funding firms. So for that, you have to improve your idea. That's why we have arranged this orientation session to guide you on how to pitch your idea from an investor's perspective. Here, I sincerely wish you all the very best, and let this session will be helpful in your future journey. At this moment, I warmly welcome Dr. P. Jayashekhar sir, President IPA Kerala State, the backbone of this program, to the event. Welcome, sir. I also welcome chairperson of this program, Dr. Sabita, Principal Amrita School of Pharmacy, Ernakulam, and we privileged to have a very experienced and reputed mentor as a resource person today, Dr. Srinivas Saval, CEO, ACT LCMP Foundation, LM College of Pharmacy, Ahmedabad. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. I also wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Batmanavanar, Principal NCP, who has provided his constant support to this program. Welcome, sir. I also welcome Dr. Bobby Jones, Dr. Junais, all other teachers and all the participants to this program. Once again, I wish you a very, very fruitful evening today. Thank you. Before going to the session, I would like to introduce our resource person, Dr. Srinivas. He is the CEO of AICT LMCP Foundation, an adult incubation center focusing on pharmaceutical and healthcare sector, hosted by LM College of Pharmacy, Ahmedabad, and supported by Niti Aayog, Government of India. He's an acknowledged leader with over 24 years of professional experience in drug research, development, and compliance in pharmaceutical organizations, CRO setup, consulting, academia, as well as innovation ecosystem. He has expertise in the area of regulated bioanalysis, biopharmaceutics, and early clinical development, including bioequivalence for small molecules, biosimilars, and biologicals. He received PhD in pharmaceutical science from Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. He has been part of various startup and innovation-related initiatives at LMCP, such as member of committee and member of SSIP and incubation center representatives of Institution Innovation Council. He was also an adjunct professor, quality assurance. He was associated with Torrent Pharmaceuticals Limited as General Manager, Bioevaluation, Clinigene International Limited, presently Syngene International Limited as a head bioanalytical research. He is the president of Gujarat State Branch of Indian Pharmaceutical Association and has served as the track screening chair, novel strategies to advance biotherapeutic development, abstract screening committee member, then member scientific programming committee 2022 land or legs pharmaceutical analysis, the founding chairperson regulated bioanalysis APA India, member of steering committee for global bioanalysis consortium. He is the chair Gujarat chapter at Society for Pharmaceutical Dissolution Science India. He is also the member of Board of Advisors, QRL Bioscience Private Limited, Gandhinagar, and his associations and experiences. He has a lot of experience in the pharmaceutical field and especially in the field of research and innovation. With this note, I assure you that this session will be helpful not only to win this program or this event, HEALTHPRENEURE. You can. It will be a life-changing resource program today. With this note, I invite Dr. Srinivas for delivering the session. Welcome, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Felser. Before that, may I request Dr. Bobby Jones, moderator and chair of the session, to give an opening remarks.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Good evening, all respected dignitaries. Today's respected resource person, Dr. Srinivas Savale, and also all my dear student participants and all others who are present in today's evening webinar. A warm good evening to all of you. As we know, this is the first type of seminar by IPA Kerala State regarding this ideation contest. Actually, as Jay sir told, this is a grooming session only. And today's topic will be essentials to pitch an idea to business. I'm very sure that all the young participants who are having so many ideas in their mind, definitely this will be an eye opener, as well as this will give you so much of confidence after attending this session, because Dr. Srinivas sir is such a experienced faculty, experienced resource person in this field. So with these few remarks, I invite Dr. Srinivas for handling the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bobby sir. Thank you, Chris. Wholehearted thanks to Jay Shekhar sir, who actually pulled me in this unique initiative of IPA Kerala branch. I compliment IPA Kerala branch for such an innovative thought of bringing a national level ideation competition in the sector. So with this note, I basically, can I start sharing my slides?
Yeah.
So what I thought is like while we are going to focus on this particular aspect of essentials of pitch, like when you want to pitch an idea to a business. Since this is an idea contest, I thought I'll walk you through one case study as well, how the pitch is actually built and how the story is told about your innovative idea that can have business potential. So I always start anything around innovation with my favorite slide. So always we keep in mind the innovation. Just a second, I think the screen is getting blocked by this. Yeah. So it is like if you talk about invention or innovation, everything starts with creativity. And in today's date, as we know, there is no dearth of information. So we have everything on our fingertips when it comes to information. So this is what it is. When we start, so this is the plethora of information or knowledge that we have around, right? But it is very important that to bring the valid essence out of this plethora of information that you have, or to get the right information which is valuable is the key. So the experience brings you that understanding as to you have certain pattern to the data or the information, and you can connect the dots in a specific fashion. So that's what the experience says. But as we are getting into the new era, we know that you can connect these dots in your own way. That's what is creativity. So that's very important then when we're talking about innovation. So you need to bring in something. So the most important skill in the future will be the ability to connect the dots in your own way. And that's where you stand apart from the others, right? So with this, when we really look at creativity and innovation, it's very important to understand what are the barriers when you are trying to convert our idea into a business proposal or converting the creative thoughts into a product. So basically, you know that creativity is kind of an output or amalgamation of skills, the curiosity, imagination, and motivation that you have. However, you need mentoring or you need your thoughts or creativity to be channeled in such a way that it translates into an innovation. So that becomes the first barrier, which is the teaching or mentoring support that you need. And secondly, when you want to translate this innovation into new product, most of the times it is you have the conducive economic environment is very important, because this is the phase where you are going to have a lot of experimentations, a lot of validations and iterations of your product, so that your innovation sees as a solution to the problem that you are trying to address. So it is important when we talk about the landscape of invention and innovation to understand what is the difference between invention and innovation. So in very simple terms, invention is creation of a product or introduction of a process for the first time, while innovation is actually you are improving on or bringing a significant value add to the existing product, process, or the service, right? So it can be the product, it can be production methods or processes, or you are exploring new markets, or you have new forms of organizations or business models. Everything falls under innovation. So you already have some information available and you are building or utilizing that information or invention to add significant value to several aspects. So this is a typical path. When you identify a problem, you generate idea as solution to that problem. So that can be one or multiple of ideas you may have to solve the same problem. And then you evaluate this idea, whether it really is feasible or is it a viable idea. And when you are looking at it, probably you are validating your thought process by talking to the end users of the solution that you are trying to bring. So you are in the process developing this innovation and you try and test it. So the first use of the solution that you have brought, you make it to the real world use and validate it, whether it works or not, right? So in pharma world, we look at, for example, if you have a new chemical entity and you are trying to have proof of concept, so you may go for in vitro experiments to look at whether it has the expected efficacy or it has that safety potential where then it can be taken to humans. So you just establish those POCs or proof of concepts and validate your idea. And once validated, then actually you move up the ladder to take it to actually the uh, target audience or target customer, and you are looking for commercializing this particular solution. So here either you can commercialize on your own or you can transfer your technology to the prospective buyer who can take it to the commercialization. And in the process, actually, we generate a lot of knowledge, which is diffused either in terms of the information is available at open source, or you actually protect your intellectual property in the process. And these IPs are then can become the asset and that can be further used. So when you look at the benchmarking of an innovation or innovative idea, broadly, the innovative idea should be helpful to the people. It should save time. It should be adding to the convenience of the users. It has to be cost effective and it should improve quality of life. Now, when I say cost effective, there is always a kind of a trading off between the the value addition the solution is going to do versus the convenience that it is bringing to you. So now, since it's an idea competition, it is important that we work on those problems which really need to be addressed, and the solution that we are thinking should not be should be user friendly. So there is, like in pharma field, we talk about quality by design. Similarly, in innovation space or entrepreneurship space, it is called as you always have design thinking. So where you put customer in the mind first. So what is that customer looking for? And that's where you start building solution around the customer's expectations. And when you talk about like pharmacy, healthcare being the technical field, it is always essential that we understand the development phases. And there is a terminology called technology readiness levels. So there are 9 technology readiness levels which are identified by NASA. This is a popular kind of a staging of idea to market by NASA for the technologies. So here broadly, if you see, so if you look at, let me pull a pointer so that I can explain better. Yeah. So TRL1 is actually when you're looking at the problem, right? It's just an idea that comes to your mind to solve a problem. So it's a basic technology research happens at TRL1 and 2. And then you move on where you start developing a prototype and testing your hypothesis. So that is proving the feasibility at stage 2 and 3. And then from TRL 4, 5, you are actually 3, 4, 5, you are working on developing that technology or the solution. And then on, once you have a prototype ready or the technology ready to be tested, then you actually start looking at demonstrating the technology's use in the various settings. So as I was mentioning, you talk about pharmaceuticals, new drug discovery, you look at the preclinical safety efficacy, and then you start moving on to doing phase one clinical trials, which is at around TRL 6 or 7. And then at 7 and 8, you are actually putting this system and subsystem which is developed into a confirmatory stage. So that's where now your technology is ready. It is ready for deployment. That's where you move on to TRL 9, where you can launch your product or the technology and it is operationalized. So this is important now when I think in the idea contest also, edition contest also, you had one slide on the stage where you are. And most of the ideas are at the ideation stage. So you have at TRL1 and TRL2. So I put some of these slides just to bring perspective, because tomorrow I can expect some of these uh, creative minds would like to establish business around these innovative ideas. So moving on, now when you want to pitch your idea, so it's very important that you first understand your target audience, right? So you need to know whom you are pitching. So now, when you talk about pitching an innovative idea or a business, so you may have variety of audience. Your audience can be a customer. The audience can be a funding agency or a prospective investor. The audience can be partners. So you may uh, 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 partner with some people, organizations who bring complementary advantage to you. So you need to look at who is the target audience, and you cannot have one pitch for all. So you will have tailor-made pitch for your target audience. So then it starts with your title slide, typically talking about the company's name or logo, or you have some punchline about your target. Like, for example, if I talk about AIC-LMCP Foundation, we always say fostering innovation in pharma and healthcare. So that's our tagline. So it starts with, so basically the pitch, the time you get to pitch has to be utilized so as to you actually hook the audience to what is that you are bringing to them as a proposition, right? So if it is a customer would be more interested to look at what is the solution and how it fits to their requirement. So when you start your pitch, the title slide itself, so it's the audience should start hooking right from slide 1. So I'm going to give you a case study of one of our startups, so that will explain you. But let me first walk through what are the essentials when you make a pitch. And then you move on to looking at the problem statement, right? So it's important that what is the problem that you are trying to solve. So the definition of the problem, actually, if you have clearly defined the problem, then it is said that 50% of your job is done. Now, when you are looking at a problem, you have multiple aspects. So, what is the urgency to address this problem, right? So, typically, we say that whether it is a perceived problem or it is a real life problem which needs to be sorted. And once you have identified this problem, it is very easy to build a solution around that problem. But at this stage, if you are faltering or if you are kind of you are confused about what exactly the problem is, then I am sure your efforts for building the solution also will be confused. So you are going to kill a lot of time, energy in building those solutions which probably will not work. So it's important that you spend a lot of time in defining the problem. It has to be a crystal clear definition of your problem. And then you bring what is the solution that you are proposing for this particular problem, right? So you need to tell what the innovative proposition you have which will solve the problem, right? So the next slide should tell about that solution and how it connects with the problem, right? For example, as I said, somebody sometime back, all of us have gone through COVID pandemic, right? So COVID infection was the problem and the vaccine was the solution, right? So you're connecting COVID vaccine with the COVID infection. I'm giving very layman examples to just make it easy to understand. So I don't want to get into more technicalities. So I'm giving more like a practical approach when you're pitching your idea to the target audience. And it is important to convey why now. So if it is a problem, why you are trying to address it now, right? Is there a burning need? Is there a potential market? Like who is looking for it? All of you know that when Uber started, it's not that there were no hired taxis. Hired taxis were available. But what is that Uber looked at? So they looked at the people are not happy with the hiring of taxis or the public transport. So they started look to bring the convenience of transit to your doorstep. So looking at public as a mass or people who are traveling from one point to another, it's a huge market for that matter. So addressing that need is bringing a huge market potential. And then you look at the entire market size. So there are these three terms or abbreviations that are commonly used. That is TAM, SAM, and SOM. So that is total addressable market, to then serviceable addressable market, and serviceable obtainable market. So you need to bifurcate. For example, you are building a solution for a cardiac patient. So you look at what is the global burden of cardiac diseases, right? Then you look at how many, a specific, again, in cardiac ailments, you are addressing a particular ailment, for example, arrhythmia. So you look, then it comes to what is the patient population suffering with arrhythmia. And then out of that, already some solutions may be available in the market. Somebody is already uh, providing that solution to you, and you are now coming as a new entrant or new solution for arrhythmia patients. So you may have a small pie to be taken from the total market available, or total, you have a serviceable addressable market. So that needs to be addressed, so that what it tells to the audience is you have studied the market well, you know what is the market potential, and you also know what are your capabilities and how much pie of the market you are going to actually address. So it is very important that you define the target market. So I cannot just say that I have a solution for detecting arrhythmia and I am showing the market of cardiovascular diseases. So it is not the target market. So the part of this cardiovascular diseases market is arrhythmia. So basically, it's very important that you identify the target market. Now, why it is essential? So whenever we are bringing a solution, there is something called as a product market fit. So your product should fit to the market that is looking for that solution. When I say product, it can be a business innovation, product, process, or business innovation. So whenever I will use these terms, all three will imply. So that's the reason it is important that unless and until you identify the right market, all your other business efforts will go waste, right? So you need to have the target market specific business strategies. So the next comes is the business model. So now, so far, we have identified a problem. We have built a solution. We have looked at the market potential and which part of this market I am going to address. Next comes is the business model. So I have a fantastic solution, which I think that will work for those target customers. So now, how am I going to generate revenue out of selling this solution to the customer? Now, you may have multiple business models, something like in pharma, healthcare, or even medtech, health tech. There's one generic approach is like you yourself develop products and you yourself take it to the market or to the end customer. So this is D2C, direct to customer. So you yourself are reaching to customer. Then you may look at certain businesses, which then in turn will go to the customers. So you have created a business, and that solution you created is you are offering to another business. And the secondary business then make sure that your product or solution reaches to the customer. So that is B2B. Sometimes government can be your customer. So you are a business selling to government. So B2G is another way of your business model or revenue generation model. So it depends on what are those streams from where, or what are those customer segments from which you are going to generate revenue. So that needs to be addressed in your business model. Now, when we talk about most of these software tools, or these days we are talking about AI-based solutions, or so IT, IoT, and the product. So IT services will have different revenue generation model. IoT will have software as well as you may have. It's a device which is controlled by a software. So you may have different revenue models there. And when you are talking exclusive of a product, then your business revenue channels and business model is a little different. So in every case, you need to actually look at the cost structure. So if I am building product A, so what is the cost to just build that particular product, right? So it can be for the materials, for the manpower, for the machine, for the utilities. So it's like manufacturing cost. So when you look at what is the outgoing cost for one unit is unit economics. So you are trying to look at cost per unit, and then you try to build profit on the cost that you have incurred. And now it is not just the making charges, but you also need to take into account the other aspects of business to take your solution to the market. So for example, like you need to look at marketing cost, you need to look at publicity cost, you'll have to look at the distribution channels, you'll have to look at how it is being, so entire supply chain, if you are trying to reach yourself to the customer. So in case of drugs, as we know, the manufacturer sends it to distributor and then it goes to retail pharmacies, right? So what is the cost associated with the other aspects from manufacturing to reaching it to customer? So all those aspects are taken into account when you are building unit economics and over and above the profits. And you also need to showcase in your pitch your products. If you already developed or if you have prototype, you need to show it in your pitch that this is what I have built, or this is the solution that we are bringing. And it we have to be very clear on also incorporating at what stage is your solution right now. So, like as I said, most of the uh, pitches would have that we are at the ideation stage. So we have just thought of it, nothing, we don't know whether it will work or not. Or somebody would have validated that idea by reaching out to prospective customers and taking their feedback on prospective solution that you are trying to build. For example, you are coming up with a new umbrella, right? In especially in Kerala, you have different types of kodas, right? You have those umbrellas. So you have three-fold, you have one-fold, you have two-fold, and you have bigger umbrella. So now, when you look at, so you may showcase that this is what prototype I have built, and this may have different features. So when you are showing this development stage, you also need to show the roadmap for building the solution for commercialization, right? So if I am at idea stage today, what do you think that where I would be in the path to commercial in next 6 months, 1 year, couple of years down the line? So as we know, if it is kind of an app-based solution, probably you are faster. Within next month, you may roll out your app. But if it is a new drug you are developing, I think it takes 10 to 12 years till it sees commercialization, right? So you look at the development stage where you are, whether it is TRL1, TRL4, TRL5. So that is because this gives idea to your target audience as how you are moving on your path to commercialization. And next comes is the traction. Now this traction is basically you are demonstrating progress of your solution. So it can be in multiple ways, right? So when you look at traction, it can be your first customer that you have who has paid you, or somebody is endorsing your idea by giving you letters of intent that yes, once your product is ready, we are ready to buy from you. Or you may have some agreement or partnerships. So somebody comes forward to partner with you to take this solution to the scale. So all these aspects are taken as traction. So now your business idea is getting endorsed either by acquiring customers, acquiring partners, or acquiring prospective customers. So that needs to be demonstrated in one slide. And also the milestones and achievements. So if you say that at one stage, like last year, we were at TRL 6, and this year we are at TRL 7, and we expect by 2 years we'll be in the market. That's one way of looking at, and you demonstrate that how you achieved those milestones. So that gives idea to the target audience that are you doing the uh, are you traveling this path efficiently? Again, in most of the cases, when you want to bring innovation to market, there is something called as lean business model. So you have minimum resources and you'll try to look at the maximum output. And in this journey, if you have achieved certain milestones, then it's worth mentioning that these are the milestones and these are the achievements. Now, when it comes to idea competition, probably your achievement is to winning this idea competition, right? So that is one of, so when you are winning this competition, so your milestones were first to participate, present your idea, go through milestone one, that is now you have come to semi-final, then you go to final, and then the results will come out in terms of achievement. So I'm just putting it in simple words so that you understand what is a traction, what is when you talk about a business idea, how it is important for someone to get convinced about potential of your solution. And it's very important that you have one slide minimum which talks about the competition that you are into. So market research is very important in terms of not only the size, but also knowing the competition. So who all are other players who are already operating in this sector or in this space, or who can be the prospective competitors? So if you don't have direct comparison, probably who is the next closest competitor for me? So for example, you talk about Uber, Ola, Rapido. So these are like competitors. They are trying to do similar thing. But then each one of them are having different offerings which will differentiate them from each other. So when it comes to looking at competitive landscape, sometimes it so happens that we are trying to address a small problem which probably the bigger players in the sector have overlooked, right? So one has to keep in mind that, for example, you are coming up with a glucometer, but there are already biggies who are into this market of glucometers. And if you are bringing something new, for you, it is the only product that you are working on. But for this biggies, they have all the resources in place, so they can probably build it in no time. So it's very important that when you are looking at the competitive landscape, while building the solution, you also need to bring barriers to the competition. So in technology field, the best option is to go for the intellectual property protection. So you file your patents, you file your trademarks, you file your design registrations so that no one can copy till uh, the IP expires or the validity expires unless you don't renew it. So it is very essential because you are going to put a lot of energy resources for building your product, building the technology. So it has to sustain in the market on longer run, right? So competitive landscape should be studied in all those aspects. And over and above, you need to demonstrate your competitive advantage. Why a customer should buy your product when there are few competing products available or services available, right? So this is the unique selling proposition for every startup, every organization. So that also we need to demonstrate when you are talking about competition. And another important pillar of or the important element of your pitch is the team. Now, you may talk about fantastic solution, but is the team capable of building this solution and seeing it that it goes to the customer? So you always need, it's not a one person who can build the business, especially in our sector. So maximum one person can do is probably consulting, right? With whatever experience, knowledge they have. But if you are building a disruptive solution, an innovative solution, you need team members who bring complementary skills to the board. So, for example, if I have seen some of the solutions you are pitching, they need understanding of information technology. They need understanding material science. You should actually understand the algorithms. Those are being bad. So it is very important that when you are giving a solution, who is the team behind it? How you are going to cater to the requirements of the solution. So that is very, very critical. So when you are putting team slide, you need to identify the key members. You also need to tell their expertise or experience. And also, if you don't have all the elements, for example, you don't have a person having finance background, you don't have someone who is building business. So depending on at what TRL you are or what stage you are, on the go you may build the team by bringing those complementary skills. It's not necessary that day one you should have entire portfolio of team members. You also can have advisors, you also can have consultants, you can take help of technical advisors or even paid services in certain areas where you require. But that needs to be ultimately the customer who is going to take your solution, or the investor who is going to invest in your company, or the partners who want to join hands with you to see a bigger picture, or the bigger picture of this startup uh, specific startup proposal. One has to build confidence by showing what team strength you have. So this is the capable team investing in or trusting on. So this is another important slide of your pitch. And of course, you look at the financial projections. So when I'm building a solution, I have go-to-market strategy. I am targeting certain revenues. Like when I'm scaling my business, I will always have financial projections as to where I'm starting with what funds. And when I'm developing this product, what kind of financial requirements should be there? Or if I have already developed a product, what kind of sales or revenue that I'm expecting over a period of time. So you also need to have this key metrics in terms of per unit cost. You may have differential revenue streams, like for example, softwares. You may have pay-per-use model, or you may have kind of subscription model, right? You may also even sell off the technology, or there's something called as white labeling of your product or service. So you build that particular solution for one of the business owners, and the business owner then sells that solution in their name or their brand. So when you are building at financial projections, you have to take into account all sources of uh, expenses, all sources of revenue generation, and what kind of profitability. Sometimes you may want to show that today I'm in loss because I am investing in building product, but like I would be having returns on investment in next 3 years or 4 years, and then on I will have profitable financials reflecting. And in the pitch, if you are pitching to an investor or funding agency, you also need to have a slide talking about what is your ask, what is that you want. Now, if you are going for a funding agency, you will ask for money, and you may say, I need maybe 2 crore in next 1 year, right? So you need to also then give the breakup. How are you going to use these 2 crores in 1 year, and what will be the outcome after utilizing these funds? So that has to be again a milestone basis you can give, or you can give the end outcome of utilizing all these funds. If you are talking to prospective partners, so there the ask would be different. So probably you would ask them to help with regulatory approvals and market access, right? So there it is not the funds, but you are asking them for the established infrastructure of that particular business to help your business grow. So it is very important that depending on the target audience, what are you expecting from that audience needs to be very crystal clearly defined in this thing. And if it is funds, you also need to by now build a story which tells the investor that there is a big investment opportunity. So this is very important when it comes to the flow of your pitch, starting with problem identification and then building on your solution. And then, so now the last few slides will talk about your business acumen, how you see this idea is translating into a business, or if it has already reached the market, then how you are seeing this business to grow, right? So scale up of business. So that can be uh, like improving product portfolio offerings, or you may want to expand geographies. So today you are in a particular state, maybe next 5 years you want 10 states, and next 5 years you want to go in 10 different countries. So it all depends on what is that you are targeting and what kind of support you need uh, from whom you are pitching, right? So this has to be clear in our minds. And then probably you can conclude for a slide talking about what ultimately is your goal, or some people talk about their motto of the company, why they want to create a specific impact. That's where they're working. And maybe the contact information. So if at all somebody wants to come back to you, so they should know whom to contact, right? So this is typically a concluding slide, what people will put. So quickly now I'll walk you through the case study around it, and then I'll tell you what we do in. So how much time do I have? If I have to, someone can tell me.
Now you can take 15 minutes more, sir.
15 minutes, okay, fine. So I can. So I'm picking this example. So this is the first slide of the startup's pitch. It says XYZ Healthcare Private Limited, right? And of course, this is a confidential information. So watermark, you can see the footer, it's confidential with date and all. This is the second slide which talks about the problem statement. So one has to be very clear that you have minimum text with bigger font size. So there is some rule called as Kawasaki rule, which talks about 10, 20, 30. So that is 10 slides, 20 minutes, and 30 font size. But that's not relevant every time. But that's the most commonly people look at it. So this startup is working for pet healthcare. So they have products for pets, and what they saw a problem in the market is there is a compromise on quality of the products available, and there's a lack of value-added products for specific needs. So because what they look at is, so you have substandard products in the market, there is no innovation, and most of the times we are depending on the imported products. So this says more than 60% import dependent. So this is the problem. And then what is the solution, right? So the problem is compromise on quality. Startup wants to bring best-in-class infrastructure to use human-grade products for pets, and so on and so forth. And when it comes to lack of value-added products, this startup wants to bring innovative product portfolio, which I will show you. So they are talking about doing R&D, reducing dependence on imports, and improving standard of care with novel product offerings. So now looking at, so what is the market potential? If you think this is a problem, and like, so what is the market potential? So you have global market size, how it is growing, Indian market size, how it is growing, what is the population, what are the number of pets per household, right? So in globally, it is more than 50% houses have either one, at least one pet. In India, it is too low, but in COVID, people started adopting pets, and now this number is growing, right? So it shows that there is a increasing market opportunity. But when it comes to the startups target, what they are looking at is, so total pet care market is $50 million. Out of that, only grooming and nutrition market is 100 million, and the startup wants to capture roughly $50 million of this market uh, through e-commerce of pet grooming and nutrition. So this is your TAM, SAM, and SOM. So when you are working towards your solution, what is that? So when we looked at milestones, what is that this startup has done so far? So conceptualized in 2019, in 2020, at the end of 2020, within a year, they could bring India's first pet sanitizer in market to a different company. They didn't market themselves, but they built this product, and which was marketed by Wiggles. So this is the first milestone in terms of getting the product to market. Then they started working on developing additional products like PuroCan, FreshoCan, HeloCan. So these are like specific products. So you see that HeloCan is a leak-safe paw balm for pets. And then they moved on. They came up with their products on Amazon stores. So now they have their own products. So that's at that stage when they wanted to really bring novel products, they came to us, to the incubation center, and then started taking our help. And in 2022, that is within 3 years, they achieved a milestone of 1 crore revenue. So this is the milestone. And when I told you about showcasing your product portfolio, so this is what the slide they have built. So where you can see 4 buckets of products, and these are made 100% in-house. So they have all the quality checks on these products, where so the substandard quality problem is sorted, and you have variety of niche products which are required. Like even in pets, even the skin structure changes, and you have single fur, double fur. You have different products offerings for that kind of breeds. So they then look at the competitive advantage what they bring. So they have some of these products, which is like the companies. If you say there's this Rosary, Himalaya, Heads Up, Cortails, Wiggles, Capjack. So these are already available. I mean, they are the players who are into pets segment. But what is that? So the startup doesn't have marketing and distribution potential. Otherwise, most of these are big players who bring products from outside and sell and distribute, right? We distribute and sell. But then only few have in-house manufacturing, so they have control on the quality of the product. And only this startup is offering some of the value-added products which no one else is offering. I mean, no one of those competitors are offering. And they have a combination of D2C and B2B model of business. Most of these are D2C, so they bring products from outside and sell to the customer. So it's like very important that you tell what is your USP, right? So this startup has operational differentiation because they produce products in India uh, in their own facilities, and they are bringing a lot of innovative and valuable products for different needs. And then what are those pipeline products that you are trying to build? So you have like, again, pet sanitizing, Omega Health, grooming range. So they are also not only uh, kind of, they are not settled with the available products, but they are also having certain new products that are thought of to be brought into the market. So it's important that to show where you are at this stage. As I said, the development stage where you are. So they already have concept, prototype. So they have come to market. Now they are at the growth stage. So where they are looking for seed funding or government funding to scale, right? So that's where they were looking for seed funding. And these are the broad areas where they want to use that fund. So one is R&D, scale up, business expansion, marketing, and geographical expansion. So, right. So it is very clear from the ask and where the fund will be used and how they will go to the market. So they have different again aspects or different strategies. So you have R&D products, you are going for creating a barrier by filing the patents and trademarks. Then you will build your e-commerce platform, focus on digital marketing. You go to business conferences and improve your geographical reach. And so you can see here for the go-to-market also where we stand today and what we need to do to achieve it. So it is very clearly given the path about uh, out of various go-to-market strategies, how we are going to address each one of them. And this is like how we are going to utilize the grant or the fund that you are going to get. So there's a good representation in terms of a pie chart saying that how much percent of the grant will go in which head, right? So the majority is in infra and assets. Then you have R&D, and then digital marketing, and so on and so forth. So then comes the project timeline. So you asked for some funds. Now you need to know how much time you are going to utilize this fund in. So this is 1 year utilization breakup is given on this slide. So in Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, how much funds are required for what purpose? And this is the revenue projection slide or financials projection. So as we saw in 2022, they achieved the milestone of 1 crore revenue. And they expect that by 2026, 27, they would hit 10 crore target. And how? So they have also shown the bifurcation that 65% of business will come from B2C and 35 will come from B2B. So this is how clarity on the business and what kind of target impact you are creating on the go is also captured in one slide. So which talks about focusing on R&D, bringing innovative value-based products, reducing import dependence, and then finally, like, is a mission. For all other sectors, we are talking about make in India, make for the world. Why not for the pet products? So that's where they are actually aiming. And this is the team. Now, this is just founders I have just shown here. But like you give their little background as to what experience they bring, because now these both founders come from pharma background. One has a strategy experience and also production experience. Another looks like, if you see here, the other person also brings in a lot of global strategies for pharma products. So it's very uh, relatable to pet industry also, because those are also high quality products to be taken to different countries is what their target is. And then that's where they came to us for getting help for newer products and then validating those products. And we're also helping them in building their IP strategy and business strategy and so on and so forth. So here, mentors and associations, as I said, you can mention your consultants, like you have now team and team mentor, right? So you also may have some subject matter experts which may associate with you. And then, like the last concluding slide, which talks about like you open it for discussion if they are not happening on the go. And this was the last slide, which talks about the address, the contact information of the startup founders. So I hope this is clear. At this juncture, I take just a pause, and if at all there are any questions, I can tell you, but I'll just quickly tell you how this all support is provided by our center. So as I said, So we are focusing only on pharma and healthcare sector as an incubator. And under the Atal Innovation Missions, more than 70 such incubators across the country. This is the only which is focusing on pharma. Healthcare and like biotechnology, life sciences, there are many centers. So when we talk about pharma and healthcare sector, so this ideation competition covers three streams, which all come under this broad sector. So some of the key focus areas, as you could see here, can be NDDS technologies, tailor-made equipment, packaging solutions. So whatever is helping this sector or whatever is helping to the health of the patients, all those ideas, innovative ideas, we can help for taking them forward, including alternative therapies, Ayush systems, or you talk about diagnostics, you talk about medical devices, you talk about phytopharmas, neutral. So all those aspects we can help you with. So we have state-of-the-art laboratories in the incubation center, which are dedicatedly used by the startups. They are also open for others who want to use those technologies. We also have other facilities like most of the pharmacy colleges may have preclinical facilities, but in preclinical also we have advanced model facility for advanced models like you have immunocompromised models to be developed. So that's a dedicated facility. And all the LM College of Pharmacy's resources are easily accessible, be it faculty as mentors, be it library, be it other laboratories, or the entire network that is available for them. So you have office spaces in the incubation center, you have cafeteria, chillax zone. So basically, you just need to come up with an innovative idea. Rest all, we will help you with this 360-degree support. So definitely we bring a lot of domain expertise. So sector specific startups come to us. We facilitate funding and mentoring. We have, being India's first pharmacy college, LM College of Pharmacy has a rich alum network globally. So we bring experts. We have already identified some of those alums who are experts in certain areas. So we connect them with the startups so they can act as advisors, mentors, or they can further help them in scaling the businesses. So we have rich pool of mentors, collaborations with industries, research institutes, hospitals, and professional organizations. And we also help them with legal requirements, IP protection requirements, business strategies, so on and so forth. So what we could do in last around 6 odd years is we have 60 plus startups at different stages. One of our sub objective is to promote women entrepreneurship in pharma and healthcare entrepreneurship. So we have 35 out of 60 startups are having women co-founder. 32 mentors. So far, startups have fetched almost 33 crores of funding from different agencies and investors. 57 collaborations. The startups have filed patents, registrations, and trademarks. So we have these startups could generate more than 300 jobs. That's what we could do. And it's not that we are supporting startups only in Gujarat. So we have physical incubation and virtual incubation models. So we already are supporting startups in 6 different states. And with this competition, I'm sure maybe soon we will have one particular mark at Kerala, Karnataka. Already we have, but Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, whosoever is participating in this contest, will be more than happy to help. And there are several examples where we could help these startups to grow from their idea to kind of next level. So high-end cell and gene therapy, or you talk about IT IoT device, you talk about hardcore AI-based diagnostic support for cancers and respiratory diseases. Uh, there is an environment monitoring device which helps us to monitor our environment with respect to health. There is a startup which has actually provided a SaaS-based solution to retail pharmacies, and they are now present in almost 6,000 pin codes of India. There's one startup which is working on oral delivery of peptides. So they have global patents for this delivery system. This startup actually does artificial sensor evaluation like electronic tongue for palatability testing and all. And most of the big pharmas of our country are using its services. There is a process-driven startup, process innovation-driven startup, which are bringing green chemistry for making APIs at shorter routes of synthesis. We have wellness, health and wellness startups which work on specific products which are which has black seed oil as the content, and this has gone global. You have somebody who is working on sanitary uh, solutions where they have this menstrual cups with patented design. And then I gave you a story of this particular startup who is into pet health. So in short, what I'm trying to, I don't know if you can read this, but this is, if you have any innovative idea in pharma and healthcare sector, you can always contact us, right? So with this, I stop and will open for discussion.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Srinivas. May I request Dr. Bobby to moderate the session?
Thank you very much, sir. It was a wonderful presentation because you are talking everything from your own experience. So it was highly helpful for all the participants, especially that innovation process you are saying about 5 benchmarks. That benchmark criteria, like it should be helpful to the society, should save time and so on. It should improve the quality of life. So it was a very nice presentation. Thank you very much, sir, once again. And now the session is open for a discussion. I request the participants to either unmute yourself and ask the questions, or you can post your queries in the chat box.
But you can unmute and ask questions directly. That's very easy. Or you can put. Any doubts, any questions, or any concerns are there in your project, you can ask. He's an expert on that.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good evening, sir.
Please introduce
I
yourself.
hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Ansumiri Charayan. I'm a third year pharmacy student from Nasir College of Pharmacy. First, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Um, First of all, I just want to thank everyone for this grooming session. It was truly a beautiful session, especially for someone who has such limited knowledge on business. So my question to you was, you talked about a lot of business models, right? Like either you can patent your concept, or you can either sell it to a big pharma company, or you can start a pharma company yourself, right?
Yes.
So which of these do you think would be more suitable for students like me, or more feasible, because we don't all have that kind of fund, right? So what do you think might be the best route to go about?
See, I think you will be student for maybe another 2-3 years. Then you will be an independent professional, right? So if you really want to see your idea to reach to patients, whatever idea you have, and I assume that you are building some solution for a patient, right? So it is up to you how you want to take it further. What kind of, so there is something called as a risk appetite for any entrepreneur or any startup founder. So it is easy, like we do in academic research, right? Most of the times our criteria is to publish in a good impact factor journal and keep the thesis in the library and forget it. Secondly, you may want to take this idea, pursue this idea in a different way and see if it is really applicable, right? So whosoever is participant in idea competition, they have that belief that I am bringing something new, which probably is a need for the patients or for some customers. Now, for student, at this point in time, it is very important that if you really want to pursue it, with whatever constraints you may have. Of course, there is another thumb rule called as you spend at least 990 days or first 1,000 days if you are jumping into entrepreneurship to pursue your business idea. So if you are kind of, you just have made this idea and you think you don't have potential or you don't have resources or you don't have circumstances which will support you to take it yourself, best is start patenting. All right. So you protect your idea. And when you have full specification, at least you should take to the full specification application. And then you can always even sell this IP, right? So, but if you think that, no, this is one idea, but this might create maybe 10 more products. So this is kind of a platform solution that I'm building. And why should I give this platform to someone else when I can build myself multiple solutions on the same platform and create kind of create your fortunes out of it? Then best way, as I said, so the economic barrier, the second barrier, first is now at third year Farm D, you definitely need some kind of mentoring, guidance as to how to articulate this idea for a business idea. And on the go, fortunately, now you have many funding options. So if you are really looking at funds, availability of funds for building this product further or solution further, like I'll give you an example of Government of Gujarat. Government of Gujarat gives 2.5 lakhs rupees under the Student Startup Innovation Policy. So the students can try dirty their hands by using these funds, build the prototypes, test the prototypes, and then comes there are at least 10 different funding options even at the student level. Now in entrepreneurship, there is no age limit, there is no qualification limit, there is no gender, no kind of a criteria for someone to become entrepreneur. So even at the student stage, you can fetch bigger grants. Like BIRAC gives a big grant of 50 lakhs. DST gives funding of up to 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs to Nidhi Prayas. Different governments are also giving funding. Like Government of Gujarat gives 40 lakhs of funding. In that, 30 lakhs is seed funding. You have 10 lakhs for social impact. So money is not a constraint. And as a student, if you want that kind of advice, I think best is to incubate your idea. Once you have certain prototype, you should take help of incubators, and then incubators have all the rest of infrastructure available for supporting you, including funds, right? Including funds, including, so they can bring you even mentors, they can bring you co-founders. So a lot of help they can give. So it is up to you. If I have to cut short my answer, so what is that you want to pursue? Do you want to become an entrepreneur and take your solution to customers? Then I think you should start building all the resources that you need. But if you are just wanting to take it to one level and give up, then there are different business models. As I said, selling the IP is the lowest hanging fruit, but then you should have right takers. Then building a technology to particular level and selling of the technology to bigger companies, that is second model. Third is you build your solution with partnership and both of you grow together, right? That's third model. So I hope I gave you perspective as to the way forward, what someone can think of.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions?
It's a golden opportunity. You can directly ask him. He's well versed with the innovation and incubations.
Sir, can you ask you one small doubt? I don't know whether it is relevant, but even then I'm asking. If it is not relevant, you can excuse me, sir. That is, when we approach some government bodies with some ideas, they are treating all the fields similarly. That means they are not giving any special focus to pharma field as such. That's what I feel. Is it correct, or what is your opinion, sir? How to overcome this?
No, actually, that's why like simple example of Atal Innovation Mission. So they are kind of supporting sector-specific incubators, right? So someone who understands the sector can help better. So no one shoe fits all approach, even at some of the government initiatives. But yes, when you look at, for example, a sector agnostic setting where you have all, that's why every ministry, like for example, Department of Science and Technology is supporting innovations in STEM, science and technology. So they have understanding of that particular sector. Ministry of Electronics and Telecommunication, they MIT, they support a particular sector. So they have understanding of that particular sector. So you also have sector specific support from government. So, but yes, in some cases it so happen, for example, in initial days, like I'm just sharing my experience. So you talk about, you are comparing one particular sector with another sector, which is unfair because pharma healthcare sector, if I talk about novel drug to be taken to market, you know what time it takes, right? So you cannot have a IT solution which will spread in no time. So you cannot compare this, but the impact probably pharma healthcare sector is creating is much, much larger as compared to some of the sectors where you have quick turnover innovations. So now government is also recognized that each sector has its own potential and challenges. So there is quite an improvement. Now they are not treating everyone the same.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Phelps, the Kerala government also supports students' innovation, no? Dr. Phelps, how much is paid?
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. Kerala government has our own nodal agency, Kerala Startup Mission. To the Kerala Startup Mission, they are providing funds. First, there is a seed grant.
How much they're paying?
Seed grant is up to 3 lakhs.
3 lakhs.
Then productization grant 8 lakhs. Then if we want more funds, then we have to go for the private funding. For that also they have platforms and VC networks.
So there are a lot of, as we said, there are a lot of scopes are there. Only the students has to, and the
Yes.
institution has to come up with ideas and with incubation centers. All the institution, as per the NEP, we should have a incubation centers. All pharmacy colleges shall have and support the students for the ideations and the innovations, incubations.
Yeah, just to give you an example, in our incubation center, we have 3 students of startups, which has grown to TRL 4 now. And we have 3 faculty startups. So even faculties are founding their own companies.
Yes, sir.
So with their innovations, their patented technologies, they are trying to take it to market. So I think we are doing such a fantastic work when it comes to research. Let us kind of try to commercialize, I think, and there are now avenues.
Dr. Junais is also here from Al Shifa College. They have a good innovation center. Dr. Junais, can you explain what's going on there? Professor Junais? Good evening. Okay. Professor Junais? Hello? Not there?
Yes, sir. It's is it audible, sir?
Audible. Yeah, we want to know the innovation and the incubation center at Al Shifa College, because I saw a lot of students. The team got one semi-finalist.
Okay, sir. Good evening, all, and that was a wonderful, awesome session. and much interactive. And it's my distinct honor to deliver the vote of thanks for this insightful grooming session organized by Indian Pharmaceutical Association Kerala State Branch. On behalf of
Excuse me, Dr. Dinesh.
hello.
Not out of thanks. Just I want to know in Al Shifa College of Pharmacy, what's the status of innovation center?
Actually, sir, it's your is very low. I thought it's
Can you hear me? What's the status
actually
of
innovation process is going on, sir, and we have got a national level first prize from Punjab actually select from UN. We have produced electricity, so we got first prize for that. And in second case we got we have selected. Unfortunately, we didn't get for a prize, but there's from here we started to produce fertilizers. So that are the two major events.
Okay, so thank you, sir. Because that's what my observation is now. Most of the very few colleges in Kerala state is having a live innovation incubation centers. Actually, this is a need that students are having a lot of ideas. Therefore, the colleges should have the innovation incubation centers to support them.
Yeah, I think in that case, we also have tied up with many colleges, not only Gujarat, beyond Gujarat, where like we have few institutes from Orissa. They want our help to take their student ideas forward. Tomorrow we are actually reviewing 4 ideas from one of the institutes in Maharashtra. So any such support is required for any institute. We are open. We can help.
Okay, or to go with
Sir, hello.
any more questions? Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt actually.
Yeah.
When we go for the idea pitching, especially in case of pharmacy related ideas, one of the major hurdle I face is that they are more concerned, especially the investors are more concerned about the regulatory hurdles. So some ideas they are not they directly tell that this won't pass the regulatory compliances, so we will reject your proposal. Especially in case of some fundamental research and all. So or the new technology ideas which utilizes the newer technologies. So how can we overcome this?
There are a couple of things which one has to. So it's very important to identify when you should pitch to the investor, right?
So
So
I'm not only talking about the investor. Even in case of seed grant, they are asking the final product or the addressable market and all. So in
correct.
such case also, they are asking about the regulatory issues.
Correct. So as I said, no, like something you have in mind is design thinking when it comes to building the right product or right solution. But in our sector, as you correctly said, it is regulatory intensive, cost intensive, and time intensive. So somebody who is going to put a fund has much bigger risk because they don't have visibility of what is going to happen out of whatever idea we are coming up with. So regulatory strategy is built right from day one. So if you know that you are bringing a, say, class 2 medical device tomorrow, right? So how are you going to get regulatory approval? That understanding needs to be built right from your building the solution. So that will solve most of your problems when you know that, yes, you say that I am building this particular solution for patients, and this is how the regulatory path would be. Then I'm sure even the investor or the granting agency will have confidence in your solution because you know the path. That's why it's mentioned in my presentation also. So if you give clarity of the developmental path that you're going to go, so now if you don't know and you are just going with an idea to get funds, nobody will give funds, right? So ultimately, they want the clarity of thoughts in terms of you should not think just this as a unique or new idea that you have come, but it's important that you understand how to take this idea to the customer, right? How you are going to develop it. So that's why the funding is, again, if you look at, I will just suggest all of you to look at the BIREX website. So there is stage-wise funding. So even the government agency would not like to risk the funds because these are public funds. So they cannot just give for Tom, Dick, and Harry who comes and says that I have something novel. So unless and until they see a potential for translating this solution into commercializable or scalable solution, nobody will give funds, be it government, be it in a private investor. So for us, our responsibility is first to understand the product, the market fit, and how am I going to travel that path. So you should have regulatory strategy, you should have business strategy, you should have skilling strategy. So I hope that understands your question, because yes, regulations are sometimes even very hazy. We faced it in one of our startups who is building a cell therapy for diabetic foot ulcer. Fantastic outcomes in uh, uh, investigator-led clinical trial. But then when it comes to now marketing authorization, they have to go for a scaled clinical trial. And we were really happy to see that one of the venture funds came forward to fund them for doing only clinical trial. So 3 crores they have granted, invested into this startup to take this particular cell therapy product to final commercialization clinical trial. So people are there, people are watching, they are seeing the impact what we are going to create and what kind of market potential it has. And yes, now I'm just making one, it's not probably, it's my perception is, it all depends on who is reviewing your application. So the person, if he is, the panel, if he is competent to gauge what this solution is really bringing impact, or what this, how disruptive this product should be. I think if they are capable to know the potential, I'm sure they will grant, they will find it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And sir, one more doubt. You told that about the market size. We have to present the total market we are going to address. So, and you have shown some figures also. So, from where we get this figure? If we Google it, we get some figures obviously, but how can we validate that figure? Means for the FMCG this product we have this much market. So that kind of valuations or that kind of figures from where we get.
Yeah, so most of the times you have some of these what they call it as market search reports. They are available for different sectors, different subsectors. So they address some of these things. And but of course, many of these market research are paid solution. You get this information after paying a huge amount. So that is where it is important that you identify resources from where you can get access to such reports. Or nowadays you have, I think in the era of chat GPTs and DeepSeeks and all, sometimes you get a kind of a validated information with references, right? So this is from where this particular information is popping up. So in our sector, so you have disease-wise reports, you have category of product-wise reports that are available. Most of the time, this Ernst and Young and even some of the pharma organizations are coming up with these annual reports of trends. IQVIA publishes a lot of free reports for different technologies, different modalities, different market sizes, even the performance of certain therapeutic area solutions. So monthly they publish report, IQVIA's reports if you want. This called it's a market report every month. So we need to know those authentic sources from which you can fetch this information.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
9 o'clock now. Dr. Bobby, shall we? Any more? No more questions. Don't say any questions. Last questions. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, Anita.
So first of all, thank you, sir, for this valuable section. So I have one doubt. Currently, there is no regulatory provision for combining allopathy with Ayush. If we discover or develop a potential drug in this area, what steps should we take? Can you please?
Yeah. So in this
Sir?
case now, yeah, there is a approach for integrative medicine. So people are talking about not only the mainstream, but supported by alternate therapies. And here, whenever you are kind of combining these therapies, you should take the most stringent approach for building your solution. So if you are taking a mainstream allopathic medicine, then probably at this stage, allopathic drugs have clearly defined regulatory pathways as compared to Ayurvedic products. So when you're combining these two, I think you should keep in mind the regulatory path for the allopathic products, because now it would have covered most of the aspects which otherwise, like in Ayurveda, Ayurvedic products also, there are two categories, right? You have those which are based on the scriptures or the conventional products, and the proprietary products. So any change you are making to the formulation that is mentioned in the scriptures comes under proprietary, right? So if you are going for proprietary, that also has the same path as allopathic drugs, right? So if you are bringing these two together, keep in mind the stringent and clearly defined regulatory pathway as your regulatory pathway.
Anita, are you satisfied?
No more
Okay,
questions,
thank you.
I have one question.
Yes, please.
please.
First of all, thank you for your Zoom session, guys. So I got so many information from your presentation and how to solve. First of all, we have problem and we will find out solution. But the main thing is and how it will be reached in the market or to those who definitely need it. So from your presentation, I got so many information on how to market and like that. So can you able to share the presentation with my fellow friends? So it will definitely help for them from the preparation.
Yeah, then this session is already live streamed. This in the YouTube.
Okay.
It will be shared with your groups. Okay, don't worry.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any more questions, Dr. Bobby?
So I have a doubt. Can I ask?
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. As you have said in the first sessions of the class, we have connected the dots in our way and created a product that will make our customers not only to just say maybe this product, but it will make our customers definitely say, oh, finally. But our team is facing a challenge, that is how to connect with a good R&D team that can help me explore the ideas feasibility in the real world. Even though we have the AI exposures and we have some applications that says like the R&D applications, but we need to connect with a good team, as you know, sir, that will help us to take a good experience, and their ideas will help us to grow. So given your experience in this field, I was hoping you might have some advice on the best way to find and approach such a team. Can you help us with that, sir?
Sure. I mean, that's how it works, right? So if you are a pharmacy student and trying to build a medical device, I'm sure you'll need help from engineering folks, right? You need material science guy, you need a engineering guy, you need a IT, somebody who is having that background, right? So most of the times what we do is that's where these collaborations come in picture. So As I said, we have 57 different collaborations, and we have institutions like there are some 20 odd institutions of different backgrounds. So we have collaboration with universities which are focusing on engineering, design, people who are expert in computational sciences. So when you want to find the right support or a team member which brings a uh, uh, complementary skills for you, so it's very important that like you should take help of your institute to fetch these collaborations for your benefit. If not, you need to keep watching on, like nowadays most of the thing is available at the fingertips. So you look at those best institutes which are working in the area, that particular R&D what you are talking about. Go and approach proactively to them. Nobody will come and serve on your platter. So if you are really pursuing your idea, you take the first step, or you take help. When you are a student in an institute, your mentors and your institute can facilitate this very easily than you going alone. So I think that's the first step you need to do. And we have been doing that. So now that's where we have identified 32 mentors who bring different skill sets. So there's a business expert, there's an IP expert, there's an engineering expert, there's a AI expert, there's a, or you can talk about automation on the go. So these are the guys, they will have their own network of maybe students, experts in that area, and they connect you to them. So it's now easy to do it. So I think hope this helps. But if you want to do on your own, you should keep watching which are the best institutes which are working in the complementary area that you are looking for. For example, you want help in designing, say for example, a robot, right? So you look at best robotics uh, departments in and around your vicinity, uh, and then go and approach them. You will have brilliant minds working there who can join hands with you.
Yes, sir. Really, thank you. Actually, I'm studying in St. Joseph College of Pharmacy, and I'm really proud that they will help to find me such a thing. But, sir, I also have a doubt that do we need to have a non-disclosure agreement to approach them, or can we directly approach this R&D department, sir?
There is again, this is situational. So it all depends on, for example, if you believe that your idea is going to be disruptive, so you need not disclose your trade secrets. But if you think that unless and until I disclose, they cannot build on the solution or help you, sign the non-disclosure agreement in a formal way. So they are bound for not disclosing what you are working on.
Oh, really, thank you, sir. It helped a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Dr. Bobby?
No more questions, sir, I think.
Okay, then shall we stop now? May I request Professor Junaid, Vice Principal of Al-Shifa College of Pharmacy, to propose vote of thanks on behalf of IPA. Professor Junaid?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Good evening, all. Is it audible, sir?
Yeah. It's audible.
So it is my distinct honor to deliver the vote of thanks for this insightful grooming session organized by the Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Kerala State Branch. On behalf of IPA KSB, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Srinivas Savale, CEO, AIZ LMCP Foundation, Ahmedabad. Your session essential to pitch an idea to business was truly enlightening and will be valuable to our semi-finalists as they gear up for the final round of the healthpreneur ideation contest. Thank you for sharing your expertise and practical insight with us today. Thank you, sir. I also wish to place on record our sincere appreciation to the entire organized team. A special thanks to our chairperson, Dr. Sabida M, and the moderator, Dr. Bobby Jones, and the one who set the tone of that evening.